genre. I've only seen Terrifier 1 and Terrifier 2, like horror-wise.
So you've been to the extreme already.
What'd
So
you
everything
say?
else is fun.
I mean, I want more horror recommendations.
There you go. Well, guys,
Keep that in mind, guys. But I like Legally Blonde and Things I Hate About You. Teenage movies like that.
there's going to be a new Legally Blonde coming out. She's coming out with a new one. It's called Hell. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's going to be a limited series, I think. So
Ooh.
you got something.
Awesome.
All right. Now let me get my two contestants over here. Paul, why don't you? Oh, you always close the door. That's right. Thank you. Sir Sturdy, what's your choice for Amelie?
I'm gonna go with the movie that you introduced me to.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna go with Eight-Legged Freaks. It's a fun horror comedy with starring David Arquette, which he's out there.
Yeah.
And
What do we think about it like a Freaks? Good pick?
Yeah.
Good pick?
Yeah.
What's your pick?
Oh, my pick is going to be a Haunted House by Disney that just came out 2 years ago.
The Haunted Mansion?
Haunted Mansion. That one. Yep.
All right. I like them both, but one is very different than the other. Yeah. I'll tell you that much. All right, gentlemen, you are going to have 1 minute to debate. Have you seen either of these movies?
No,
All right. Well, one of your fellow celebrities out there was in them,
I know.
and the other ones were not. So you're good. Just go talk to David. You pick Crazy Legged Freaks or whatever. Eight-Legged Freaks. I told you that one. You did. All right. You have 1 minute, 6:30. Why should she watch it? Just come over here. Yes. Because I don't want to stand by the way. By the speaker. All right. Here. Why should she watch Eight-Legged Freaks?
well, first of all, David Arquette is here, but it's a good movie to kind of like get started into for horror. Especially when you watch Terrifier, so you already watched the extreme.
Yeah.
But if you didn't start there, I do feel like it's something to kind of ease into horror and see if you actually like it. It's a good, fun thing. There's spiders in it. If you're scared of spiders, that may bother you. But it's not overly creepy. It's actually like a fun way of the way they use the spiders for the horror, in my opinion. So that's all I have to say.
All right.
I got this locked up.
All right. Locked up. He's got locked up. You gonna lock this up? Get your game face on. Why should she watch your choice?
All right, so everyone loves a good Disney movie if it's done right. Haunted Mansion, I think, has all the elements you want as far as a Disney movie. So it's wholesome, it's got a good story, fun laughs for adults and kids. It's got the horror elements, so you still get scared. As an adult, there were still some scenes that made me jump. I mean, I thought it had everything you needed. As an adult, I watched it 2 times in theater, and I watched it again at home. So I think it's a good, wholesome movie all around. Even as a horror lover that's watched the worst of the worst, and some of the most gory thing that's out there, I still enjoyed it. So I think that'd be a good place to start.
Okay. All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for your debates. Now, Amelie, this part's up for you. You can ask them any questions you want about these movies.
Okay, so I have a little bias for both sides. I love David Arquette. He's super sweet. I met him. But I'm also a huge Disney fan. I've been to Disney. How many times have I been to Disney? 20 times? My mom's a huge Disney fan. So I'm a little biased for both sides. You said it has spiders in it?
Yeah.
I don't love spiders.
But I mean, horror.
Horror.
With the horror stuff, you know, if you want to kind of be scared.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
like with that, but it's not. I don't feel. Well, I don't know if you're a spider. No, I'm mine. If you're a person, I'm gonna ruin. But it's not like overly creepy. It's in a fun way. It's in a really, really fun way. For those of you that seen it, you can attest to it. And I think you did
round
good.
3.
Again,
Round 3 is gonna be that.
you were in Terrifier. You've seen
I know.
that is crazy, creepy. Like Art the Clown creeped me out, and I love that movie. I think you would have a really good time with this.
Okay.
I like it. And now, if you have any questions for Paul,
Did you say, you said it came out 2 years ago?
yeah,
Okay.
this was the remake. The Eddie
Remake.
Murphy one came out, I guess, about 20 or so years
Okay.
ago. This one had Keith Stanfield was in it.
Danny
Rosario
DeVito.
Dawson. I thought
DeVito,
they were pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a little more fun, a little more up to date from the original.
Alright, I think I have my pick.
Well, let's hold on because I wanna go
Okay.
round 3.
Oh, round 3.
Oh, yes, please. You have a movie for it? Do you want to do the next round? I would love to have you on. Okay. Well, we'll do that, but for this one, what should you choose? Audience, raise your hand for Eight-Legged Freaks.
Come on, put them up. Put them up.
No campaigning. No campaigning. Get out.
Really bad?
All right. And the Haunted Mansion remake.
Yes!
All right, well, no.
Wife.
Your own wife. Listen,
Turned against you.
she is a,
Wow.
listen, she's a woman, she has her own mind.
Yeah.
Well, Amelie, what do you decide?
My pick is Haunted Mansion.
Yeah! Congratulations,
I'm
Paul.
sorry, it was close.
What's close? All right, do we have 2 more contestants? Anybody? I got 1. Come on, somebody. Come on, let's brave it. All right, I'll do it. Fine. Whatever. Okay. What about, please tell us who you are, where you come from.
My name is Leah Clemens.
And that's here in North Carolina? Fantastic, thank you for coming out. All right, what is your movie of choice?
Killer Clowns.
Oh, which one was it? Killer Clowns.
I think I'm gonna get me.
Candy, funny clowns.
It's a good time. Fits the motif. Trust me, for you. All right, before we do that, before I say my choice, does anybody want to go up against Killer Clowns? Come on, have some fun.
It's too good. I think it's perfect.
Okay.
I'm for it. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
going
I'm
to
for
make
it,
choices.
so I can't go
How you
against
feel
it.
about
Yep.
this? I'm going to choose the Monster Squad. That's the same thing. But you can. So, yeah, I'll let you first round. Go ahead. Your debate.
Killer Clowns is basically they come from space. So, and they come down to pretty much take over the town. And they go around shooting lasers, turning into cotton candy, put them on the shift. It's a good for appropriate.
Yeah.
It would be a good one for you.
Okay.
Absolutely no argument there. Absolutely. It's a fantastic choice. It's an amazing
Yeah.
choice.
It's almost like a
Also, I love
cartoon
your
comes to life. It's so good. Yeah.
I want to say Monster Squad is age appropriate, is fun, has Universal Monsters. That's my argument for it always. Can't argue against Killer Clowns, but you know, the Monster Squad is a lot of fun. It's kids getting into adventures, fighting against the Universal Monsters, and it's an 80s movie, so it's always a good time. But that's my argument. So now you're round 2. Ask us questions. What do you think?
Okay. So, was Killer Clowns an 80s movie too? Is it an older one or a newer one?
Yes.
Older?
Yes.
Okay. I've seen that around at a lot of conventions. I've seen like the cartoons and stuff. So I don't.
Want to do a video game?
A video game?
They were talking about
Oh,
that.
that's cool.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Comes out in a couple of weeks.
Ooh. And then what was yours called? Monster.
The Monster Squad.
Monster Squad. It has kids in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good. I like that there's younger people in it.
Oh, there's some really good lines in Monster Squad. Sorry.
I think they both have great lines.
Yeah, they both have great lines. You're right.
It's hard to argue the comparison of this.
Those are really good.
Like,
Is Killer Clowns a cartoon? No.
it's as fun as one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Like,
It's just killer clowns from outer
Like-
space coming
Yeah,
down.
Oh,
and
it's
it's
attacking
like
town.
It's not
they
animated?
come, no, they come from space and they're basically trying to take over a town, and they're like teenage high school kids,
oh,
and they're trying to defeat the clowns, and they win. And it's so funny because when they try to go to their shoot, some of the clowns shoot the security guard. Like a little pie.
oh, wow.
And then when you touch the pie,
You're saying all the fun things.
Don't spoil it.
No, I love that. I love that. Thank you. And you, listen, this might be the first draw I've ever seen in your film. So, because there are 2 fantastic films. Now, we're going to ask the audience. Raise your hands for Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
And raise your hands for the Monster Squad. All right. Well, see, they're loved, but there was a clear winner by the audience. Now, I'll choose which would you like to watch. You can choose a draw if you like, but
I want to watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I wanted to watch that before you even came up here, so it was on my watch list. So thank you. I'm excited.
1,000% back. The only thing I could have come out with was the Monster Squad that comes
Yes.
out. I love Killer Clowns. It's fantastic. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate you. All right, we got time for a couple more. Seriously? No, we gotta read. Somebody's gotta
I
be
want to
the
show
shy
you.
guy.
Come on here, guys. It's fun. Don't be shy.
Come on. Who's gonna do it? Nobody has a movie for it?
I'll even tell you the movie, Little Monsters.
Oh! Round of applause. What's your name? Where are you from?
Lauren, I live in Rome.
And what's your movie?
Okay, so this is kind of, I don't know if this is flirting with the line of appropriateness, so, you know, but since she's seen the Terrifiers,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like,
you got the extra.
yeah. I think It Follows would be a really good one
Yes.
for you to see. It's definitely about people in your age demos, about like high schoolers. It has a lot of like broader messages beyond just the literal of like, it's about like the consequences of teenage sex, so to speak, but it's also like kind of feminist. It's got a really cool soundtrack.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the better horror movies. I hadn't seen it till recently, and it's one of the best ones I've seen in like the last 5 years.
Ooh.
So I love that movie. It's great.
Awesome.
It's in my top 10.
I would definitely put that in top 10, top
Yes.
20 at the very least
Yeah.
I
of the
think
last
it's
20
an
years.
important one to watch. As a
Yeah.
young
Yeah.
person, yeah.
Now, it's your movie.
I'm diving back into the 80s again, guys, and I'm going with Little Monsters. Every time I watch that movie, it makes me want to eat Doritos and look under my bed.
Are you gonna drink apple juice?
I love apple juice. And that movie right there, I feel like, is the one to introduce kids into horror. It is such a fun film. I started with some crazy stuff, but
Well, tell me
that one right there.
what is it
that,
about? You have to always.
So, what is it about? Honestly, monsters under the bed.
Yeah.
And you go into their world and you kind of see how it is and see how they are, and it's just, it's hilarious. And again, it's gonna make you want Doritos, and you'll see why. And I say this because, like, with a lot of older movies, the marketing for Pepsi and all that,
Yeah.
it was like boom in your face, boom in your face, boom in your face, and that's one huge thing I remember is, I don't want to spoil it, I've seen it before.
Yeah.
And Howie Mandel, if you know who Howie Mandel is,
Oh,
he was in
yeah.
it. So
Ooh.
that was one of his early ones. It was
That's
cool.
cool.
All right. So you have questions for Little Monsters or It Follows? Anything you'd like to ask?
No, honestly, I think you guys covered it.
So hold on, you got your pick. Okay. All right, everybody, you know the drill. I'm gonna ask you to raise your hands for It Follows. Good turnout. Good turnout. Now, how about Little Monsters? Ooh, pretty close. It's a big one. What is your choice?
I'm gonna say draw. They actually both interested me, so I can't pick.
I love it. You got a draw. Congratulations. Thank you guys for coming up and hanging out. Okay, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, do we have two more? Two more? Well, how about we field some questions then? How's that? All right, anybody have a question for Amelie? We are not talking about, we didn't talk about this, but I'm saying we're not talking about Terrifier 3. I don't want to know. Okay? Yes?
So, the scene that you were in during the makeup part, when she was trying to save her brother at a Terrifier, and he was in the room with you, and you were sitting there doing the 80s and stuff like that. How was that experience?
Well, that was not me.
That was not you.
There was one other girl that played the part of Little Pale Girl only for that scene because I had ran out of time because the laws, the acting laws for minors, and I had run out of time and I was all the way in North Carolina because that's where I'm from. Yeah, and we filmed in New York, so I was already like, they didn't want to fly me back just to film that one scene, so they found a girl that was local in New York, I think, to film that scene, so that was not me.
That's No, that's,
Thank you.
It's fantastic that you asked that because it opens you up to thinking about like what were the differences between those two characters.
But now we're back to see why she plays this all day.
Yes.
You can't tell, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you for that question. You have a question, sir? Oh, anybody else have a question? Oh,
Hi.
Hi.
So you said you hadn't watched any horror movies or anything like that. How was it doing The Terrifier? Because I mean, I saw the first one. We met part in all of them, and it was freaky, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, I was scared, okay? So when I saw the second one and you came out, okay, you scared me. I was really scared, so I'm just wondering, how did you feel playing that role and then actually seeing yourself on TV or on big screen with all that makeup on? I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was a little nervous at first. I think it was my first day filming. I was getting my makeup done, and I was watching David get his makeup done in like the other corner of the room, and he had his mask on, and for some reason I thought that he couldn't see out of his mask. So I was like death staring him, and then he was like looking at me and he was like waving, but I didn't realize that he could see me like watching him the whole time. So I was like looking at him like that, and I didn't know he could see me. So I was a little nervous at first, but I guess I got used to it. It wasn't really scary as we filmed because the director, Damien, he like shielded me from a lot of the gore. I didn't really see much, so it was mostly just like a shock when I went to the premiere because I had no clue what was going to be about. All I knew was my character and my scenes.
Yes.
I didn't know about any of the death scenes. I had no clue what I was in store for. So it was in New York City. I was 13, I think. And I had no clue. I think I was sitting with Elliot during the premiere, and I wasn't sitting with my parents. And I think they texted me at one point. He texted me, and my mom was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." Oh, it was right after the big scene. She was like, "Are you good?"
Yeah, actually, if I could add to that, to ask a question in regards to that, like watching the film at the premiere and getting an idea of like what this is all about. Like, what was that like? You don't watch horrors yet, like you're getting into it, so like, what was that like? But I know you're in the movie too, so there's that detachment.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it wasn't that scary for me because I was in it and I knew everyone. And for me, I'm more like scared of jump scares than I am gore. So like all the blood and like bludgeoning doesn't really bother me as much as like someone coming around the corner. So like the big kill scene didn't really bother me, honestly. But it also is probably just because, like you said, I'm in it. So yeah,
That's fantastic.
I know everyone.
Any other questions? What you got? All right, I'm going over there. Sorry, make me up. All right, fine.
Are there any up-and-coming projects we can look forward to with you?
Well, I'm constantly auditioning for things. I'd love to be in more horror. I'd love to continue to do that. I'm also in a TV show, General Hospital, the soap opera. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I watched that in the 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Yes, it's still going.
That's how old I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember Luke Laura's wedding.
I'm Laura's granddaughter.
Oh, is that?
Oh.
Yeah.
I watched Luke Laura's wedding live.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah.
Prime time.
Yeah.
You don't even have prime time anymore. Well, so General Hospital, I know it's not hard if you guys don't want to know what I said. That's a pretty different schedule. You know, you're going.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear a little bit more about that. You know, if you guys are open for it. Yeah, I'd love to hear about like that schedule of filming and what it takes to learn those lines.
Yeah, so it was filmed in LA, and I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. So they would fly me out to LA, and I'd stay in a hotel, and my lines would be like this thick, like chunks of paragraphs to memorize. And they would not give me them until 1 or 2 days before filming. So it's not like I had like 1 or 2 weeks to memorize these giant paragraphs. I had like a day or two. And so I honestly don't know how I did it. I have a bit of a photographic memory, so that definitely helps, fun fact. And it was also hard because I had to like manage school with it too, and I had like an on-set teacher, so that was interesting. I had to get all my work, and I had to do it on set. So yeah, it was like a very rapid, like quick-paced thing. Like we would go up there, and you'd be expected to like nail your scene in like 1 or 2 takes, and then they're moving on to the next one. It wasn't like, for example, like Terrifier 2, we took like, I don't know, sometimes like 30 tries to get the right scene, but General Hospital, it's like, boom, like 1 or 2 tries, and you're expected to know it.
Now, how did that help you with filming Terrifiers? Is it like, was it a little more lax? Maybe it was nicer for you, or?
Well, Terrifier 2 was before General Hospital, so I was not used to that quick pace. I kind of just had to hop right into it.
Okay, so if Terrifier 2 was before General Hospital, when you did you audition for General Hospital, and did you submit a reel, like say, okay, look, I'm in Terrifier 2, you know? And they're like, that's perfect. You could be, you know.
Oh, I know, because there's such a difference from
Yeah, such
soap
a
opera
difference.
to like gory horror. Yeah, I auditioned for General Hospital, and then I got a call back, and they flew me to LA, and I didn't think I booked it. I got out of the callback, and I didn't think I got it. I don't know why, but then they called me, and I booked it. But yeah, I don't know what they thought about Terrifier 2, because most of them are like very prim and proper, you know, so I don't know what they thought about that.
Well, I think that means that you're going to have to give them Terrifier 2 for Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys, you got any more questions?
Did you watch the first Terrifier before you shot Terrifier 2?
I did not.
Oh, so after?
Afterwards, I
Okay.
had no clue what I was
So
going
you just
into.
said, yeah.
Yeah, I
Wow.
just went into it.
Okay. I was gonna say, was there any part of Terrifier, the first one, that like maybe scared you or not as much?
Well, once I watched it, I don't know, there was this one scene where like she was like hiding behind the car, and then like she gets shot or something.
Yeah.
That was scary. That was the scariest
That
part.
was it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. Sir. Have more than enough time for a real combat.
Are there any specific actors or actresses that you are wanting to work with or would hope to work with in the future?
Well, I did meet the actress that played Megan in Megan, and Amy Donald, and she's from New Zealand, I think, and she's super sweet. We like clicked really well, and I think it would be fun for me to work with her on something, like a little duo, you know, because she also plays like a young, creepier character, so I'd love to work with her if I ever got the chance. The clue I was going to be about. All I knew was my character and my scenes. Yeah. I didn't know about any of the death scenes. I had no clue what I was in store for. So it was in New York City. I was 13, I think, and I had no clue. I think I was sitting with Elliot during the premiere, and I wasn't sitting with my parents. And I think they texted me at one point. You texted me, and my mom was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." It was right after the big scene. She was like, "Are you good?"
Actually, if I could add to that, to ask a question in regards to that, like watching the film at the premiere and getting an idea of like what this is all about. Like, what was that like? You don't watch horrors yet, like you're getting into it. So, like, what was that like? But I know you're in the movie too, so there's that detachment.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it wasn't that scary for me because I was in it and I knew everyone. And for me, I'm more like scared of jump scares than I am gore. So like all the blood and like bludgeoning doesn't really bother me as much as like someone coming around the corner. So like the big kill scene didn't really bother me, honestly. But it also is probably just because, like you said, I'm in it. So.
I feel old, but I get that. More questions from younger people? I don't know. I'm kidding. I'm bantering. You were doing fantastic. We appreciate you coming out here.
Of course.
This is fantastic. Now, guys, you have any more questions for Amelie for this?
Any reactions to the makeup? Because I know they can be pretty touchy, and our youngest is now 19, but we've raised 4 kids, and we also know how skin can be at a certain age. So were there any reactions you had to the makeup at first? Or?
It wasn't towards the makeup, but it was towards like taking it off with like the makeup wipes. My face was like raw just from like scrubbing it off. So that was the reaction that I had. And the funny thing is I get home and they take most of it off, and then I would like scrub in a shower and I'd still have like black in my ears and like under my nails. It was gross.
Switch those sheets every once in a while.
Yeah. It just looked like I was just really gross. I promise I'm clean.
You make a movie like that, you gotta use the bad towels, not the good towels. Any more questions, guys?
Which is surprising because I feel like I would expect them to be like, crazy hard goth, but they're so sweet, which is awesome. I'm so grateful for the horror community.
Our community is strong. That is
Yes.
Any questions? Yes, sir. Oh, come over here. By the way, when you have that table, I'll make sure to stop by and say, I remember your grandparents down there.
So the movie's pretty intense and the art's pretty scary, but David's pretty funny.
Yes.
And do you have any good blooper or prank stories from the set?
Well, yeah, David's hilarious. He's always like throwing pranks and doing stuff. I remember he always comes around when I'm wearing shoes with shoelaces. He always comes around and he like tugs on the shoelaces and he'll like pull them out of my shoe. Every time he sees me, it's like, come on. He's so funny. And then also there's just a ton of fun memories from set, like little things that happen, bloopers. One time when we were in the nightclub filming those scenes, you use like a smoke maker to like make the scenes look more smoky, you know, to have that like smoke effect. And we were using it, and we set the fire alarm to the to the club off, and we like had the police department, not the police, what are they called? The fire department sent to us. That was a whole ordeal. And then the mashed potatoes story I tell all the time about where Art the Clown like spears the mashed potatoes in the mom's face. It was like a really cold night and I was on set and there was a craft table with like all the different food options. And to the side was like a thing of mashed potatoes and I really was craving them. And I made the mashed potatoes and then Damien comes in, he's like, where are the props? We need the props for the scene. And I had eaten the props. And then they had to go get more at like 2 in the morning at Walmart. Because I ate the props.
Tell me right now, all of you know that mashed potato scene, we're ripping into it after I love it. That's a great story. Thank you for sharing that. That's fantastic.
How was that? You was into it. What did that make you feel like when you started this?
It was crazy. It did not taste good at all. Ugh. It tasted like mix of like fake blood and like crayons. It was like fake blood and like gelatin, I think. And my mom tried it before I did. She was like worried. So you know, she like tried it, and we both had it, and it was really gross.
Can verify.
It was gross. It was fun to film though, but very gross.
So in terms of horror movies, and saying interested in doing more, I know Terrifier is very extreme. Is there another maybe kind of subgenre you'd be interested in, zombie, slasher, or anything like that?
Yeah, any of those. Zombie was cool.
Who's some of your favorites? Like in terms of characters, like Michael, Jason, Freddy.
Well, I haven't seen any of them movies, so I don't know.
Who would you watch first?
Okay, Michael is the one that's like.
He's got the white mask.
Okay. And then Freddy Krueger, right?
Nice.
I feel like Michael. He's kind of scary.
Okay. What do you guys think? Who's first? So, raise your hand for Freddy. Raise your hand for Michael. Raise your hand for Jason.
What?
I think you just need to watch them all.
Oh, Kate Hodder! I love Kate Hodder. That's Jason. Okay.
He's Jason by the time you get to 7.
Yeah.
Gotta watch the first 6.
Okay.
Great. So, any more questions, guys? No starters. Please enjoy.
Since you hadn't seen any horror movies, I'm curious what you kind of pulled from then, like acting-wise in this one, because you were very scary.
I mostly pulled from David himself. I watched him on the sidelines a little bit before my scenes, so I could kind of get a feel for like what I wanted to do with it. And Damien also helped me. He kind of coached me a little bit and told me some things. And then the rest of it was kind of just like me, I guess. I'm just scary like that. I don't know. Something came out of me.
Now, what other kind of genres would you be interested in doing more so than the other? Comedy or drama or something?
I feel like comedy would be cool. I really want to be in something that my friends would want to watch, you know, because I'm in like a gory movie and they don't like gore. Like people from my school, like they don't love gore, and then soap operas for like, you know, older people. So I want to be in something that's like they can watch, you
I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah, Disney,
No, I will
something like
now.
that.
I didn't know what happened. But no, I get that. I feel old, but I get that. More questions from younger people? I don't know. I'm kidding. I'm bantering. You were doing fantastic. We appreciate coming out here.
Of course.
This is fantastic. And guys, you have any more questions for Amelie for this?
Any reactions to the makeup? Because I know makeup can be pretty touchy, and our youngest is now 19, but we've raised 4 kids, and we also know how skin can be at a certain age. So were there any reactions you had to the makeup at first? Or?
It wasn't towards the makeup, but it was towards like taking it off with like the makeup wipes. My face was like raw just from like scrubbing it off. Oh, that was the reaction that I had. And the funny thing is, I'd get home and they take most of it off, and then I would like scrub in a shower, and I'd still have like black in my ears, like under my nails. It was gross.
Switch those sheets every once in a while.
Yeah. It just looked like I was just really gross. I promise, I'm clean.
You make a movie like that, you gotta use the bad towels, not the good towels. Any more questions, guys? Oh.
I'm just curious, were you like ready for what was to come after you did Terrifier 2? Like, were you prepared for, because the horror world is a very like loyal kind of world. Like, we are not like any other. We really aren't, because 50 years from now, you're gonna have a table, and you're gonna have a younger generation coming to your table with us in our walkers and stuff still. Still coming for autographs. And so I'm just curious, like, how does that make you feel, like, to think about that?
Yeah, I did not see the amount of success that Terrifier 2 got. I did not see that coming, because I had no clue about the franchise. I kind of, I just did it because I thought it'd be fun, like some good experience, good work experience. I just thought it was like, something small, like a small movie. And then, oh my gosh, all the like fans that I started getting after it came out, it like came out of nowhere, and I definitely did not expect it. And the fandom is amazing. I love the horror community. They're so sweet, which is surprising because I feel like I would expect them to be like, crazy hard goth, but they're so sweet, which is awesome. I'm so grateful for the horror community.
Our community is strong, that is
Yes.
Any questions? Yes, sir. Come over here. By the way, when you have that table, I'll make sure to stop by and say, I remember when your grandparents got married.
So the movie's pretty intense and art's pretty scary, but David's pretty funny.
Yes.
And do you have any good blooper or prank stories from the set?
Well, yeah, David's hilarious. He's always like throwing pranks and doing stuff. I remember, he always comes around when I'm wearing shoes with shoelaces. He always comes around and he like tugs on the shoelaces and he'll like pull them out of my shoe every time he sees me. It's like, come on. He's so funny. And then also there's just a ton of fun memories from set, like little things that happen, bloopers. One time when we were in the nightclub filming those scenes, you use like a smoke maker to like make the scenes look more smoky, to have that like smoke effect. And we were using it, and we set the fire alarm to the to the club off, and we like had the police or not the police, what are they called? The fire department sent to us. That was a whole ordeal. And then the mashed potatoes story I tell all the time about where Art the Clown like spears the mashed potatoes in the mom's face. It was like a really cold night, and I was on set, and there was a craft table with like all the different food options. And to the side was like a thing of mashed potatoes, and I really was craving them. And I made the mashed potatoes, and then Damien comes in, he's like, where are the props? We need the props for the scene. And I had eaten the props. And then they had to go get more at like 2 in the morning at Walmart. So I ate the props.
Tell me right now, all of you know that mashed potato scene. We were ripping into it after we loved it, right? That's a great story. Thank you for sharing that. That's fantastic. Any more questions, guys? Well, I do want to get you back to your table. If you're going to be signing all weekend, make sure to go visit and ask some more stories if you can and stuff like that. But thank you, Amelie, so much for playing this, and doing this and being a part of it. The panel was so much fun. You were fantastic.
Thank you.
Big round of applause.